Sip, Create, Repeat, a podcast providing marketing strategies you can consume over a cup of coffee.
Welcome back to another episode of Sip, Create, Repeat. I am your host, Chris Schneider, and today is going to be a solo podcast. So I am going to talk specifically about how to ramp up your Black Friday, Cyber Monday strategy. Let's give you 3 actionable insights, 3 takeaways from here so that you can get ready to go for Black Friday, Cyber Monday in 2024. So with that being said, let's dive straight into it. Number 1, grow your marketing list. So are you actually using signup forms or anything on your website? So Klaviyo specifically has, and for those that don't know, this podcast is going to be centered around you having an online store. So whether it's Klaviyo or a different platform or Shopify or a different platform, I'm going to be basing all of my information based on Klaviyo and Shopify. They work really well together. So let's get back into it. Number 1, grow your marketing list. So how many sign-up forms do you have on your site? I would suggest that you have 2 sign-up forms on your website. You have one that is the embedded form. Typically, you see those in the footer of a website. Those are very out of the way, tucked out of the way, but hey, they're there and they work really well. They're like that great friend who you can always just call and like, hey, I need a friend right now. That's your embedded form. Then you're going to have your pop-up form, and the pop-up form is going to vary based on the actual business itself and what specifically works for you. And sometimes it's based on hooks and offers and all that. What we have found is that a pop-up form with a 2 to 3 second delay works really, really well for any of our e-com clients. But we also have found that if we really want to drive conversion, if they have, or drive signups, if they have a good offer, like a 20% off your first order, or maybe even more, then we typically would do that on exit intent. And so we would take and set up the pop-up to show when the user is exiting the website. And that is a great way to like, hey, hold on, don't leave yet. What if we gave you 20% off, right? So those are those sorts of offers that do pretty well there. So have 2 different sign-up forms for your website, right? And I would say aim to be at like a 3 to 3.5, maybe a little bit more form submission rate. I think that's going to be really helpful for you. So what is your conversion rate? This is going to be another thing. Okay, so you're growing your marketing list, but do you have a decent conversion rate on that marketing list, on that pop-up form? I talked about it before. 3 to 3.5% is what I'm aiming for. If I am under that, then that's when you should be taking and adjusting the way that it shows. So you can start by adjusting timing first. Timing is going to be one of those things where if you have it set to load instantly, it's going to annoy your users. But if you have it set to load based on a delay, that might be a little bit enough, like a little bit of a padding there to make sure that your users are okay with it. After that, I would say if you're still struggling with it, you could do based on a percentage of scroll. That sometimes is a helpful way for people to, kind of get that in motion. The other thing I would say is if you are collecting phone numbers, aim for greater than or equal to about 20% SMS subscriber growth rate, list growth rate, leading up to Black Friday. So here we are. It's September 16th when I'm recording this. This episode's probably going to go out on September 18th, if I had to guess. And so now is your time to really start to get those up and moving, right? So that is number 1. Grow your marketing list. Number 2, send weekly campaigns. Weekly campaigns. Consistency is key. What you don't want to be, you don't want to be one of those brands that come out of left field Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all of a sudden you're just obliterating your email list and your SMS list during that time. So what you want to do, if you're not super consistent and you're not sending weekly emails, then you need to just start to warm up that list a little bit to seeing your name, to getting in your inbox, not getting in the spam folders. So I think, according to Klaviyo, data shows brands that start sending campaigns in October and maintain a weekly cadence are about 3x more likely to be a top performing brand during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. For larger brands, that number's even higher, sending up to 4 times a week. So that is going to be the goal, right? According to their own analysis, and I'm getting this directly from Klaviyo, even though open rates tend to decline during Q4 due to increased marketing volume and email fatigue among consumers, click rates rise slightly compared to non-Q4 periods. So just be on the lookout for that. But sending weekly campaigns is going to be key. Are you sending SMS campaigns? I would definitely suggest that you send SMS campaigns. Since there's no universal best, time to send, avoid sending during peak hours with SMS if you want to stand out a little bit. If you have to send, if you're really kind of forced to send during peak hours, then send maybe off of the half hour. So let's say that you have a lot of data out there that says like 10 p.m. is our like prime, it's our best time for doing that sort of thing, for sending SMS messages. Try 10:15, try 10:45, try something a little bit different, because you want to get into a habit of, I think everyone, when you're looking at other brands, you're looking at other marketers, everyone's going to be aiming for those on the hour or half hour, so 10 or 10:30. I think if you can get in between there, you have an opportunity there. So during the most saturated days, like Black Friday itself, you should probably go to opting for SMS instead of MMS. So for those that don't know, if you start to include images and GIFs and that sort of thing in your text message marketing, that's going to be sent as an MMS, and that's going to be multimedia, right? So that's going to take up more bandwidth. It's going to take up, more effort on the person's device to load, and they're already getting hit a lot. So make your marketing messages short and sweet and SMS only. That'd be really, really good. So I would say you have a couple of weeks here, right? For email, get your calendar mapped out for the month of October. Send at least once a week. Your audience might not want to hear about Black Friday, Cyber Monday starting in October 1st. That's fine. You can widen out your angle a little bit, but the goal is that you're going to start to tell them maybe in early November to mid-November about any upcoming promotions. You're going to kind of let them know about things that are coming in advance. So that's number 2. You should be sending weekly campaigns. The checklist for you is going to be 8+ targeted campaigns a month, and you're going to be going against your top engagement rates. So benchmark your campaigns against top engagement rates. You're going to be aiming for 42% and above, or 2.5% click rate if you can. All businesses, when it comes to SMS, your checklist is send 1 to 4 targeted campaigns per month. Avoid MMS messages during peak times. Use branded links. And avoid sending between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. because people are working. Let them work. Number 3, optimize your flows. Dive into the data. See what your flows are telling you. People love to set it and forget it when it comes to email flows, and it's the worst thing that you can do. So top brands, regardless of size, have at least 8 revenue generating flows live in Q4. Larger brands have as many as 13. How many flows do you have going right now? The most successful brands were primarily focused on activating existing flows, including SMS flows. Ideally, you should set up new flows before Q4 to maximize revenue generation during the busy shopping period. But in Q4, the most common flows remain consistent with other quarters. Welcome series, browse/cart abandonment series. This underscores the ongoing importance of nurturing new subscribers and recapturing lost sales throughout the year. So whether or not you're on track to set flows live before Q4, again, you don't have a ton of time before Q4 officially kicks off. There's no time like now to get started. Make sure, and I'm going to put a link below if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you use the BFCM checklist, the flows checklist. This is going to help you create some tests and keep track of things as you go. So, that's optimizing flows. If you're a small business, optimize and launch 6 flows. Here are those 6. Are you ready? Do you have your pencil and paper, your iPad with your cool pen and stuff like that? Are you ready? 6 flows. And this is kind of in order of importance, in my opinion. Welcome series, abandon cart, browse abandonment, post-purchase, win back, and then one specific to your business needs. What is a flow that you can create? What is an automation that you can create that is specific to your need? Here's what I'll say. If you are in some sort of, let's say you're in some sort of consumer packaged goods, right? If you're in that space, you know that you are selling something that people are consuming. So you know that generally speaking, let's say I sell, energy drinks and I sell them by the case, right? So I know, let's say a case of my energy drinks is 24 energy drinks. I'm going to say that people probably aren't going to drink them more than one time a day. So then after those 24 days are up, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have an email flow set up specifically to help recover that lost revenue. So I hope this is helpful. If you need any help for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, be sure to reach out and we will be in touch. We'll see you guys soon.
Like this episode? Be sure to rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.